All right, here we go. We're gonna see if the Roland Blue Cube can blues. Now, this has been a huge request on the channel. I did some videos about these when they first came out a long time ago, but not at my house. So this should be interesting. I've got this for a very limited amount of time. So today's video, we're just gonna stick to playing blues, and we're gonna start with this backing track. So let's hear how it can sound. I always say let's see how it can sound, but let's hear how it sounds. Here it goes. Welcome back, folks. This is Shane. You were listening to the Roland Blue Cube Stage. Let's take a look. Here's the amplifier up close. Now, one of the cool things about this is I really like its size. It's not as small as the Blues Junior. It's around the same size as the Artist Tweed Tone 20 amplifier that I've got, which means it's going to sound inherently a little bit bigger. Now, this packs an absolute wallop in terms of volume. No questions about it. The build quality on the cabinet's good. The grill cloth and just the aesthetics of it look pretty cool, but there's more to it than just looks. In the back of the amplifier, we have this Blue Cube custom-tuned 80-watt V12 speaker from Roland. Now, I've got to hats off to Roland. Man, they make a good speaker. You know, you can go back to some of their really old jazz chorus amplifiers. They're all loaded with great speakers, so they don't skimp out with that like a lot of other companies would. So, yeah, great speaker in the back of the amplifier. You know, it makes for a great playing experience. Now, taking a look at the top of this amplifier, it may look complicated, but it really isn't. It's a 2-channel amplifier, and you have the ability to blend channels as well. So we have a clean channel, a crunch channel. You can select it via here, and the dual tone enables kind of like both circuits at the same time, which I don't really like, to be honest, but I know a lot of people love it. But I much prefer either the clean channel on its own or the crunch channel on its own. We have a boost and a tone boost as well for each channel. We can enable those if we so choose. We get a 3-band EQ over here. The reverb is digital, but man, it sounds great. So one of the best built-in digital reverbs I've heard. And a master output volume control over here. Another cool thing about this, we have a power control setting on the far right, or at least I don't think that's right. Is that right of screen? I'm not too sure. At least my right anyway. So we have 0.5 watts, 15 watts, 45 and maximum. Now maximum's gonna absolutely peel the paint off the wall, and it's late here, so I gotta keep it on 15 watts, but it's still really loud. We're gonna do this though with the master volume all the way up. Additionally, on the back of the amplifier, we can also use this as a USB device. It has a record out USB port. It also has a headphone socket as well as a line out. So in my opinion, the line out will probably do the job for most people, and it's a lot more simple than using this record out function over here, depending on your DAW. But yeah, it gives you both of those options. The great thing about this though, over a lot of other amplifiers, no need to hook it up to a computer to actually use it. You can just plug in and get great tones, and that's what this video is all about. Firstly, a massive thank you to Sky Music for the loan of this particular amplifier. I really appreciate it. If you want to find out more about this amp, links to Sky Music will be in the description below. If you live overseas, there'll be Toman and Sweetwater links down there, and you can see how much it is in your part of the world. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it. So in today's video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm just gonna play blues. If you haven't seen my videos for a while, I try to mix it up the best I can. So today though, because it's a blues amp, we're gonna play some blues on a few different guitars, starting with this American original Stratocaster from Fender. This is all stock. So let's give this a shot. We're gonna start on the crunch channel, which you heard in the intro track. The only change is I've turned the reverb circuit down a little bit. So let's give this a shot. This is neck pickup. Now this reacts, in my opinion, way better than any of the other Boss Roland amplifiers I've had a chance to play. It really, when you dig in, it gives you a lot back and it feels really cool. I'll show you what I mean. I'll pick soft. Now I'll dig in. Soft. And in the room, other than the single coil buzz, I'm hearing a lot of extra oomph coming out of the amp, and it feels good. So yeah, this would definitely cut a mix, and on 15 watt mode, which I've got it on right now, it's really loud in here. So yeah, this is a ridiculously loud amplifier, no questions about it, and that tone's great. So let's turn the gain up to about 1 o'clock, and I'm gonna start with my volume control down now. Here we go. Little more. And all the way up. Awesome. Bridge. Woo! All right, let's change guitars. Over to my Tokai Love Rock, loaded with a set of humbucker pickups. We're gonna see if we can just plug in with exactly the same settings on the amplifier and get a good tone. Starting on the neck pickup, here we go. Yeah, I really like the fact you can just play. There's no amp twiddling, there's no hooking it up to the computer. You just plug in, put everything to 12 o'clock, turn it up, and it sounds like that. So that's great. They're on the right track with this. Let's turn the mids up, treble up. Actually, I'm going to back the bass off a little bit. We'll crank up the gain. Let's give this a go. Wanted to feedback. It was just going to hold on to that note or that frequency. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite get it over the edge. But man, considering I've got the master volume all the way up, but I've got the channel volume only on, what is that, about 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. So it's got plenty of drive, no questions about it. Nice and dynamic too. If we turn down. Yeah, it feels great. It really does. It feels just, yeah, it's got all the right, it's giving me all the right kind of stuff. I turn down, it cleans up, but not just that. When you actually crank it and you dig in, it gives you a lot back. You feel the presence in the room change, which is something a lot of transistor amps don't have. The PV Bandit does that as well, which is why it's one of my favorite amps of all time. This has that same sort of 3D projection, and it never sounds shrill in the room either, which is really cool. That's one of my complaints about the Katana, was that it always sounded a little bit too bright. I purchased one of those as well, and yeah, you could roll it off by hooking it up to the computer and scooping out the EQ, but this just sounds better straight plug and play, in my opinion, just for blues. Now, if you're playing heavy metal kind of stuff, or really high gain stuff, this wouldn't be the amp for you. But in terms of what it does for blues, you could do this classic rock, all that kind of stuff. Let's change guitars. And now over to the clean channel of the amplifier, and I've grabbed my Fender American Original Telecaster, and this clean channel is as clean as you want it to be. I actually really like it with the boost switch on, so I'm gonna leave that on. I'll turn it off quickly as well just to show you the difference, but here's with it on. And off. For whatever reason, it sounds better with that on. It's like it's given it a little bit of extra hair on the note or something. Great clean tone. Now let's go back to the channel I was on before. Here we go, and then we'll try the dual tone effect. Beautiful. And now over to the dual tone, which is probably my least favorite setting on this amp. A lot of people rave about this, but I don't know, I just don't feel like it really adds anything musical to the tone. Sure, it's cool to have, but yeah, you be the judge. Anyway, here we go. I think it's basically blending both channels, and to my ear, I don't know, let me know what you think of that. It sounds round and full, but it sounds confused. Let's just put it that way. I much prefer just either channel on its own, but that's just me. Because if we go back just to the clean channel now, let's have a listen. Yeah, I much prefer that. Or just the drive channel. Now, of course, that's going to depend on how you've got the amplifier set and your guitar and setup and all that kind of thing. It's all subjective, right? But I just much prefer this as a 2-channel amp. That clean channel is really nice, but the drive channel sings. At a gig, I would just, you don't even really need pedals with this, which is what makes it really cool. No excessive foot switches or anything. Plug in, use your volume control on the guitar, and you're good to go. And lastly, let's check out the tone button on the amplifier now. Let's give this a go. Yeah, interesting. It does add a little bit of high frequency there, but I kind of like it with it off, or maybe my ears just adjusted to it in that particular mode. But I know a lot of people have this amplifier, so if you've got it, let me know in the comments, or let everybody know in the comments the best way of running this for your particular setup. I'm not even going to get over to the other power settings on this particular video. I have a very limited time with this, and it's late. I got to get this done tonight, and I don't want the cops coming around. But that'd be kind of fun. We'd be like, I don't play guitar, what are you talking about? Anyway, sounds great. It can absolutely blues. I would, if it was me now shopping for a new amp and I was looking at any of these type of solid state amplifiers, this would be very high on the list. No questions about it. I like its size. It's very light considering, you know, how loud it is. It has a big 3D kind of sound. Would I take this over something like a Katana just for a blues player? It would be an absolute no-brainer. You know, recently I had a chance to review a Blues Junior, which isn't at the house anymore, unfortunately, but this sounds way bigger in the room at 15 watts. It's not even close, and it sounds warmer as well. So if you missed that Blues Junior video, I'll link it up in the cards and you can check it out. Great amplifier as well, but this feels better to play. It's louder, it's smoother, it's less sort of toppy on the high frequencies as well. So yeah, for a solid state amp, man, pretty cool. If you want to find out about this, links will be below.